Hi, Kristina here with Zero Signal Magazine and Broken Skulls Productions at Welcome to Rockville. We're here with Risk. So, how are you today?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. It's a lot better out here today. It's not all rainy and muddy.
Much better.
I'm gonna start off with what started your passion for painting and graffiti in general?
My passion for painting graffiti in general. Well, I think that I was a rebellious kid, and I used to surf a lot, and I used to never go to school. But when I did go to school, I used to draw waves and write surf all over my desk. And this kid from New York came and he showed me pictures of trains in New York, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So I went and I stole some spray paint that day, and I went to my high school and I did this big surf piece, and it was terrible, the ugliest thing you ever saw in your life. But the next day, people were like, wow, that's really cool. And I'm like, really? And I just said, all right. So I just kept doing it, and I got better, and I was hooked. I was addicted to it.
It's cool that you say stole the spray paint.
Well, that was part of that was all part of the sport of graffiti. You had to steal your spray paint.
How did your environment affect the way you showcased your work?
Say that again?
Your environment, how did it affect the way you showcased your work?
Well, I grew up in LA, so I was lucky. So I was around a lot of, Sunset Strip and stuff. I was around a lot of bands as they're emerging. So a lot of bands needed backdrops, and I got to meet a lot of people. And that led to me working with Michael Jackson, and that led to me working with, all these other people. And, fast forward now, I just did stuff with Aerosmith. And I just been in the right place, and I just grew up in that crowd.
I think the Michael Jackson name there, I'm kind of curious about that story. How did that work out?
Well, he came to me to design 3 different sets for a music video, The Way You Make Me Feel. And he wanted one really over-the-top graffiti art, one that was like a hybrid of gang and graffiti, and one was gang. So I did 3 city blocks, and he wound up using them all and just bounced around from block to block. So it was pretty cool. We built this huge environment inside of a warehouse, and it looked like a city,
I can't imagine just being, that fan to go, hey, you use my work? You like my work? You want me to do this? That's awesome. I haven't been there yet, so, this is as close for me as that gets. What made you decide to start tagging train cars?
Well, I tagged freight trains in LA because, we don't have subways. So everyone wanted to emulate New York, and they wanted, a train. So the only thing I had was freight trains. So I went to the factory. Oh, I shouldn't say that. But, and I tagged the trains. And then eventually, I hitchhiked to New York and one summer out of high school and painted the real subways. So it was fun.
You hitchhiked from LA to New York.
Yeah, it was a lot easier than it sounds because I wound up getting a ride with some actor that had to get a car all the way there, so it was just like a one-stop shop. I was really lucky.
I was going to say, that sounds like it could have been a pain in the ass at first start. Where do you plan to take your work in the next 5 years?
Oh, I don't know. To me, life is a ride, and I like to be an artist that never knows completion or never knows the end, because if you know the end, then it's over. So I just kind of roll with it. I just want to keep doing what I do as much as I can.
How did you get involved with Rockville?
Well, the guys called me because they're out of LA, and they saw a lot of stuff I did with Aerosmith and stuff, and they found out that I was the rocker graffiti guy, and I think they thought that was cool because I think they assumed a lot of graffiti was hip hop. So it was a natural fit, and we clicked, and so I'm doing a couple of festivals with them. It's awesome.
I like that you established there is a definite difference between, rock graffiti, hip-hop graffiti.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the difference for folks who may not know?
Well, in New York, it was, graffiti came about with the hip-hop culture, and it was started with hip-hop. And, as it made its way to Los Angeles, we were a lot of kids listening to punk rock. We listened to Suicidal Tendencies, stuff like that. And we did get overlap with some hip-hop, definitely. But there's a lot of kids that their whole repertoire of music is just hardcore and punk rock that are into graffiti now. So it's not the stereotype that you saw in the 80s, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and stuff like that.
Okay, well, thank you very much. We're here with Broken Skulls Productions and Zero Signal Magazine with Risk. Thank you for taking the time, and we're going to let you go. Enjoy Rockville.
Thank you.